everyone, my name is Mariam and I graduated from the University of Greenwich last year. On this channel I like to do book related content. I also like to do writing related content. During university I studied primary education, so I was thinking of also doing some education based content and also looking at disability related content. So for this video it's going to be a book related video. So we've all had those moments where we're like in a reading slump and we can't really just like be bothered to read, or we've read that book that's just kind of made us not want to read anymore or read again. So in this video I wanted to share with you some of the books that have gotten me back into reading after I've entered a reading slump. So I have most of the books here. Some of them are not here just because I listened to the audiobook version. So this is one of the first books. It's called Kim Ji-young, born 1982. This is a really good book. So it says, Kim Ji-young, born 1982, is the South Korean sensation that has got the world talking. The life story of one woman born at the end of the 20th century raises questions about endemic misogyny and institutional oppression that are relevant to us all. Riveting, original and uncompromising. This is the most important book to have emerged from South Korea since Han Kang's The Vegetarian. I really enjoyed this book. Like, I felt for the main character. One thing I really liked about this book is they had like statistics. So for example, they talk about how there was widespread and social support for women's ambition, and how in 1999 there was new legislation against gender discrimination. And then in 2001, when Kim Ji-young turns 20, the Ministry of Gender Equality was formed. So when they're kind of referencing certain like papers or events, they would usually just have the reference there, which I thought was really good. And it was just really interesting to know about like what was going on during South Korea at the different times of Kim Ji-young's life. So this book deals with women's rights, it deals with inequality, and it deals with mental illness. I really loved following Kim Ji-young's journey, what she was going through. It was interesting to see how everyone kind of reacted to each other and how like different moments played out. A lot of it was very shocking. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's certain moments where I was like, wow, that really happened. So I definitely recommend this book. I also like the fact that it's short. I think it was definitely important and definitely needed. And I also like the fact that it's fast paced. They both kind of helped with me getting back into reading. Knowing that it was short made it less overwhelming for me. The fast paced in it also made it quite easy to read. Like I said, it was very informative and it was very shocking. The second book is Noughts and Crosses, and that's a part of a series. So Noughts and Crosses is based in a dystopian Britain where society is divided by racism. You have the dark-skinned crosses who are very privileged, a lot of power, and then they have a lot of power, they have higher social status than the light-skinned noughts. And so it's just about this world where there's a lot of tension, and the story also has the relationship between Sefi and Callum, and it's just interesting to see the world through their eyes. Interesting to see how they kind of go through life individually and as a couple. It is interesting to see how they navigate the world as a couple but as individuals. So I definitely recommend it. It was very shocking. I literally it was one of those books that it was so shocking. I was on the edge of my seat throughout the whole book. I would definitely recommend it. When I read Noughts and Crosses, I straight away went to go and read two of the other books. I actually missed one in the middle. I realized that I skipped one, so I think I read like Knife's Edge and then Double Cross, but I missed one or two books in between. I also watched the BBC series of it, and it's so like the outfits are amazing, the designs are beautiful, the hairstyles are amazing. It's just I enjoyed the series as well. So I definitely recommend that if you read the book, to watch the series as well. Third one is another kind of like a really shocking book for me, was 1,000 Splendid Sun. I loved that book. So that book was amazing. It was very shocking. It was very heartbreaking. It was very disheartening. It was so kind of, it was quite painful to watch as well, because you felt really bad for the characters, and you just kind of wanted a happy ending for all of them. So it kind of follows the lives of Layla and Mariam. They're in Afghanistan. For this one, I listened to the audiobook, so I don't have the book with me, but it was so shocking, and it was so sad to just listen to what was happening to these characters. I would definitely recommend it, and I'm not going to spoil it too much. A Thousand Splendid Suns is also one of those books where you just like randomly think about it at like 2 a.m. because you just can't believe what you've just read. It's similar with Noughts and Crosses. The ending was just like heartbreaking, and I thought about that for such a long time. But with A Thousand Splendid Suns, that was also so just, it was just a lot. Like, it was just, I needed like a week, a month to recover. Anyways, on a lighter note, this is another one that got me out of a reading slump. It's called, okay, yeah, I thought this is the wrong way around. One of Us is Lying. Okay, so technically One of Us is next, but because I read that because I listened to the audio book version of One of Us is Next. I just had the physical copy of One of Us is Lying as a substitute. But like I said, I enjoyed One of Us is Next. I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than this one. Not that this isn't good, but I don't know. I think One of Us is Next just felt a little bit more was more fun, and I think the characters felt more like connected. In One of Us is Next, I don't know, I just enjoyed it a little bit more. I think it was just the wit, and the characters were a little bit more funnier than the characters here are. Not that this isn't a good book. This is a good book, but yeah, One of Us is Next. It got me out of a reading slump. It was fun. It was very witty. One thing I did notice though, the story, like, because they're both murder mysteries, the murder mystery for One of Us is Next, it came later than in One of Us is Lying. But I don't know if that's just me. Yeah, so I was just checking to see if my camera was still recording, but it is. They're both murder mysteries, but in One of Us is Next, the storyline, the murder mystery plotline came a little bit later, which I was a bit like unsure about. But it was still good, and I still enjoyed it. But yeah, that's just one thing I would say about it. The one in One of Us is Lying, the murder mystery plotline comes in earlier than in One of Us is Next. Apologies if you're looking at this and it looks very messed up. I spilled water on it. Sorry. Yeah, I've given it to a lot of people. It just know that it's had a lot of love. Okay, a lot of love has been shown to this book. Just know that. A lot of love has been. It might look messy, but a lot of love has been given to this book. Okay, I'm going to use this as a substitute again, but this is Bloodmark. The one that got me out of a reading slump is Legendborn, but I'm just going to use this as a substitute. Legendborn was really good. It is fantasy. It is just about this girl. She gets powers, and she's kind of just trying to understand it all. Legendborn is based off King Arthur lore. I don't know much about it, so that was not a surprise. Like when they spoke about one thing, and I kind of thought, okay, King Arthur. I don't know a lot about King Arthur, but I could still follow the story, which is good. I also listened to that Legendborn on audiobook. So one thing I noticed is when I saw the physical copy is that it's very big. This is big too. Legendborn is big. This is 500. Is it? Yeah, 500 plus pages. I'm telling you now, if I saw the physical copy of Legendborn, I wouldn't have picked it up. So I'm glad I listened to the audiobook before I picked it up instead of picking it up, because I would have missed out on such a good book. It's so good. It's shocking. It's funny. The main character's amazing. The side characters are amazing. The storyline's amazing. I just really recommend it. It's just a really good book. Yeah, it's just a really good book. but I just know that if I'd seen the physical copy, I wouldn't have picked it up. That's just me, because I can't handle big books, or books with too many pages, especially if I'm in a reading slump, because then it's like, it's going to take me a while to get in, and I'm less likely to pick it up. But I'm glad I listened to the audiobook version instead of having a physical, because now I've picked up the physical of the second copy, and I've had this for a while. I haven't had this for a while, but I thought about reading the second book for a really long time, and the fact that I still haven't read it is kind of like annoying, but it's okay. We read it eventually. I do actually can't wait to read this one. Legendborn they're both to do with secret societies. I just realised. Secret societies. If you like secret societies, this one. Another one, I have the book, it's downstairs, and I can't be bothered to get it. It's called By the Book. It's such a cute romance. So, By the Book, it's about this editor. She's a part of this book publishing company, and she goes to a rock star's house to try and convince or help this person write a book, because he's been kind of late, not answering emails, not answering phone calls, being like months behind on writing. And so she kind of goes and helps him, and then it's just about that relationship unfolding. It's so cute, and what I like about it is not cliche. Like, they do have like cliche moments. It's not like I'm not like other girls. She's not like that at all, but it's not too on the nose, which I also really appreciate. So yeah, By the Book. If I can, I'll put the picture here or here. Yeah, I'll put the picture if I can. But yeah, it's a really good book, and I really liked it. I'm currently reading that actually, but I'm really, really enjoying it. The last one is Love in Colour by Bolu Babalola. I really like this book. So this book is a collection of short stories, and I think that's one thing that was really good, because it meant that I could go from chapter to chapter. I didn't have to go in chronological order. Whether captured in the passion of love at first sight, or realizing that self-love takes precedence over a romantic connection, the characters in Babalola's vibrant stories face up to and navigate this most complex human emotion, and try to capture its intangible essence. Bolu takes a step in decolonizing tropes of love and creates new stories inspired by the wildly beautiful and astonishingly diverse tales of romance and desire that already exist in so many communities and cultures. Transporting us across continents and perspectives, this collection shows that humanity, like love, comes in Technicolor. Like I said, ignore the notes, but I don't know why. Okay. A paperclip just randomly fell out, but okay. Yeah, like I said, they're chapters, which is nice because, if you can do that, yeah, there's chapters, which is nice because you're able to kind of just flip through. You don't have to read it in chronological order, which is nice. But yeah, the stories itself, they're very nice. They flow. The stories itself, they're very nice, and they flow, and they're really, really just like sweet and heartwarming. Anyway, those are some books that have gotten me out of a reading slump. I would love to hear books that have gotten you out of a reading slump. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Bye.